Okay, what this is a strip till machine. This is more designed in the row crops area, and you've been hearing lots of discussion over soybeans, canola planting, and corn planting with a planter. Basically, this is a 30-inch machine. It can go anywhere from 4 to 16 inches deep. This particular unit has the ability to place fertilizer with it at the same point in time. But what that does is it just opens up an 8-inch area to take and put your seed and your fertilizer in that row and leave everything else solid. It's actually the reversed V style. Keeping everything hard, when the rain comes, it'll fall into that real soft zone. So it'll ingest more liquid easier. So we're kind of doing a reverse V, or a standard V is what we're doing.
So you're not really tilling, mixing up the soil at all, are you?
No, actually, we are in that strip zone, and maybe what we'll do is we'll go ahead and look at the side profile of this. So what this does is this is a 22-inch coulter that's up in front. So what it's going to do is it's going to cut and open up the land so it makes it easier to entrance into the ground. You have the residue cleaners that take and move out the soil so it keeps it nice and level. And then you got this large shank. This large shank can actually take and go down as deep as 16 inches deep, but also be as shallow as 4 inches if that's where we need to be. Now anybody that's doing corn, canola, soybeans, you want to have about that 6 inches of loose material. So nice, fluffy, firm base for a good seeding bed. So you adjust it with your soil compaction tester, find out where your plow pan's in, lower your shank accordingly, okay? The great thing about strip tilling with this machine is, you see these liquid tubes that come down. There's actually a tip right here that you can actually take and put your high rates of nitrogen down. So if you're wanting to put upwards of 200-300 pounds of actual N for your corn to get that type of production, here in Saskatchewan we'd probably only do maybe 200, of actual N. We take and put it down so we don't get seed burn. The second thing is, you see this flat plate here and you see a couple bolts. We can adjust now our pop-up fertilizer to take and go, say for example corn, you want to be about 1.5 inches to 2 inches deep. We can adjust this to go accordingly, okay? Put that where the seed is. So lots of people will take and strip till in the fall and then come back with their corn planters or planters, seeding in the 30-inch row, and then already just take and roll the seed in because all your fertilizer is right there. Okay. Secondly, you got some 20-inch coulters that'll take and bring all the material back into the 8-inch area, and then we have this roller right in the back here that takes and firms everything up, packs it, but leaves it fluffed. Good seed bed, excellent seed bed, but again, what you're doing is creating a seed bed that is mellow, firm on the sides. Water will penetrate in there, so any rains that you're going to get, the water is going to easily access into that ground. This unit here roughly takes about 50 horsepower per shank to pull it. You cannot overpower this machine. This machine is built up on a shear bolt system, so you can actually, if you run into any type of rocks, you'll take in a shear bolt will pop. You can take and put that in. You can pull this machine anywhere from 4 to 8 miles an hour, depending on how deep you're going, depending on how much horsepower you have. This one also has the ability to take and have as many as 3,200 gallons of liquid fertilizer on board that we can actually then take and put different rates on. Pop-up fertilizer or any other, magnesium that needs to be put in to help soften the soil up or keep it mellow. Plus our liquid pop-up, which we've already talked about a little bit earlier. But you see the large wheels behind me, and what this is called is the caddy system. You have a look over, you see some U-clamps. We can actually hook a 3-point planter right on the back of this unit, do our decompaction, do our one-pass fertilizer, plus seed it all in one pass. It's a little slower than what we're normal to, but it can be done. A true one-pass machine. And there's nothing in the industry that does this.
So what kind of width are we looking at for this?
How much horsepower do you have? No, they will make up to a 24 row 30-inch centers, but generally 16 row is 40 feet, 24 is 60. But unfortunately, with our compaction in Western Canada, it's very tough for us to pull bigger mitts. This is a 12 shank that I'm standing over, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to need about 500 horse to be pulling this. So once our ground gets a little bit more mellower, it will be easier to pull, and that's where the bigger widths will come into play.